What's up, my peoples? Salutations, Yisrael, Yasharel, however you want to say it. Want to give all esteem, majesty, praise, honor, and respect to His Majesty, to the great Elohim, the great I am that I am, the mighty one of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All right, YHWH. His name is Yahuwah. All right, this is the video I told you I was going to release, entitled Why I Call Him Yahuwah. All right, and it's going to end up being, 45 minutes to an hour long, maybe. I'm gonna try to not make it that long, but I got quite a bit of notes. As I read them, it might not end up being that many notes, but we gonna see. But I know time limit don't matter, but at the same time, I do want to kind of do this in a decent time frame, but I do have quite a bit of notes, because basically I'm just explaining why I call him Yahuwah. All right, this is not anything I'm trying to force on anybody. So, but this is going to be very note heavy. I'll be doing most of my talking just from my notes. You know what I'm saying? But I just for the last 7 or 8 years. 2016. So yeah, about 8 years. I've known the name Yahuwah, and every time I've asked him, Father, am I correct with your name? Because I pray to this name. I pray to his name. I don't pray to anybody else, and so I serve the Most High alone. God alone, by himself, as it states in Isaiah 43 and Isaiah 45 and Deuteronomy 4 and Exodus 3, So, I mean, David prayed to the Most High alone, So, Solomon prayed to the Most High alone. Our ancestors were supposed to pray to the Most High alone, so that's who I pray to. That's who I am loyal to, all right? And I know many of you who watch my channel, you are the same. Most of you, if not all of you, are the same. You pray to one God, the Most High alone, the Almighty alone, the Creator alone, the Supreme Being alone, the ultimate power alone, the Source alone, all right? So, all right, we about to get into this. I have 2 disclaimers. I'm about to read the first one. All right. It says this video is not meant to mock, insult, disrespect, or shame anyone who has a different idea about the Almighty's name. Your walk is your walk, and to each his own. I'm simply and humbly offering transparency into what I believe, my personal belief, and why I believe it. The meek shall inherit the earth. So all these arrogant debaters and controversial clout chasers, you guys, if that's you, you're gonna have to answer to the Almighty when you deal with, his chosen ones inappropriately. All right. And I'm saying that to say this: if you think I'm a devil, or you think you just want to be spiteful and be evil toward me and my channel, first of all, any stupid comments left, I'm getting rid of them. I'm not gonna let them stay up. You know what I'm saying? But even more importantly, I just want people to do their own research. I don't want people just taking everybody's word for it. You know what I'm saying? Because I've done the research. I ain't saying that there ain't more research to do. There's always research to do, and we're supposed to be teachable. That's what we are. That's why the Most High gave us Torah, all right? Because it means teaching. It means instructions. So we're supposed to remain open and teachable at all times, especially to the Most High, all right? But some people, they just like to argue, and I ain't dealing with that over here. So, and I know the name is a big topic. The name is a big arguing point. So, all right. So it says, be objective and not subjective when you watch my video. And that's your choice. If you don't believe anything I'm saying, if you don't, want to hear it, just move, just keep going. All right? It ain't that hard. I get 5 or 10 minutes into videos all the time when I, especially the ones where when I'm looking for people who think like me, and then they pop off Jesus or Yahushua or YHWH. I don't listen much longer. I just, I kind of get up out of there because I know some of their beliefs is going to be distorted. I am the type that eats the meat and spit out the bones, though. So I do listen to some videos longer than probably others would, just so I can get different perspectives on how people are seeing things, or just to see if there's information I have not heard or have not seen yet, because I'm always looking for stuff, So that's what it is. Says, I'm not a scholar. I'm not a teacher. I'm not a historian. I'm not a prophet. All right. I'm not a priest. And I don't know Paleo or modern Hebrew. All right. I've just connected dots to try to understand why the Father has led me to the name Yahuwah. He's led, I'm assuming he's led people to many of the different names that are out there. And I'm a list 10 names down here that I've seen, out there that some people use, and why I don't believe it's those names. All right. It says, if you disagree, YouTube is a platform where you can do your own videos about the Father's name, and you can do your own videos about anything else. I don't think the name necessarily ends the conversation between us brews. All right. A lot of us believe these different names. I think we got to be willing to come to the table and talk about it, though. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not me. I used to be at a point where if you were saying a different name, I wouldn't mess with you, period. But I'm not that way anymore. I'm leaving the door open for conversation. You know what I'm saying? And we can vibe on so many other things. The Most High can bring us together and have us connected and clicking on so many other things. And then we get to the name, people just clash. You know what I'm saying? And I used to be the same way, but I'm willing to have those conversations because the Most High is telling us to gather here in these last days. And you got to be willing to have those conversations if we're going to be able to all be gathered, together so we can go back home. So it is what it is on that. Says it's an important aspect of the Father's doctrine, of the Father's Torah. His name is. It's important. All right. And this we should take it seriously with humility when dealing with this subject. Lastly, I'm firm in this position right now. I'm firm on the name Yahuwah. All right. Just because of my research, because of how he communicates back with me, man. I mean, I'm just saying. And then I'm gonna reiterate, I'm always willing to have conversations about it. You know what I'm saying? So to keep going, let's read Psalms 19 real quick. All right, Psalms 19, starting at verse 8. It says, the teaching of Yahuwah is perfect. I'm reading from my Tanakh, from my Bible Tanakh app. All right. It says, the teaching of Yahuwah is perfect, renewing life. The decrees of Yahuwah are enduring, making the simple wise. The precepts of Yahuwah are just, rejoicing the heart. The instruction of Yahuwah is lucid, making the eyes light up. The fear of Yahuwah is pure, abiding forever. The judgments of Yahuwah are true, righteous altogether. More desirable than gold, than much fine gold, sweeter than honey, than drippings of comb. Your servant pays them heed. In obeying them, there is much reward. Who can be aware of errors? Clear me of unperceived guilt. And from willful sins, keep your servant. Let them not dominate me. Then shall I be blameless and clear of grave offense. May the words of my mouth and the prayer of my heart be acceptable to you, O Yahuwah, my rock and my redeemer. That's how I feel. All right. That's how I was feeling when I was coming up with the concept of doing this video. All right. I just want to put out information that is going to help somebody. And if people align with that, then so be it. If you don't align with that, I'm not on here to try to be malicious. I'm not on here to try to gain a following and become a cult figure. No, that's not what I'm trying to do. I just want to put out information that will help people in their walk with the Most High. It's that simple. All right. I've made mistakes in the past. But I'm trying to get to the point of what that scripture says, to try to be blameless. You know what I'm saying? And I'm feeling my way through this thing just like y'all is. All right, I'm picking up the breadcrumbs he's leaving and trying to connect the dots just like y'all are. All right. I do not have all the answers, but this right here I've been looking at for years, and this is where I'm at right now. And if the Most High ends up changing that in me, then so be it. All right. I'm doing this in humility. All right. This is not about me trying to outwit or outsmart or out intelligence anybody. All right. I am not the holier than thou type. I'm low key. I try to stay chill. You know, I've learned how to be a better husband, a better father, but most importantly, I've learned how to be a better servant to the Most High. And I try to allow him to order my steps and just try to, weave in and out of this life as a man who lives on Bible principles, a man who lives on Torah principles. You know what I'm saying? All right. Says, before I get into the reasons why I call the Almighty by the name Yahuwah, let me preface this information with 3 things that always sit on my mind, and I'm being transparent. All right. A, says Yah separated Israel and Judah, not only physically, but also, I believe, in the thought process. We not always going to see eye to eye, because when he took the kingdom from Solomon, I said this in a recent video, when he took the kingdom from Solomon, all right, Israel and Judah stopped liking each other. All right. So some of the resentment that comes toward me, or that comes toward some of y'all from other brothers out there, it's just he hasn't combined the sticks yet. All right. He hasn't recombined Israel and Judah yet. So that's where some of the pushback is going to come in. And you can go read about that in 1 Kings 11 and 1 Kings 12. All right. B, though I've moderated debates, I personally don't debate anymore. I know there's brothers out there that would want to debate me or debate anybody who believes like me. All right. And I said, but I've been there and I've done it already. All right. I don't debate anymore. All right. And it says right here, why I don't debate anymore if I'm so confident in my thought process about the name Yahuwah. Because we're commanded not to cause division amongst the brethren. That's number 1. I'm not trying to cause division by saying I believe in Yahuwah. I'm saying that I believe in Yahuwah. I want people to know when they come to my channel, this is how I believe. And if you don't believe that way and you don't think you could ever get there, all right, keep moving. Keep on moving. My material might not be for you. I'm trying to be upfront. I don't want to deal with issues over here, especially people that is trying to cause division. You know what I'm saying? We're commanded not to cause division amongst the brethren. All right. How many of our people are divided already? All right. We in captivity together. All right. And ain't no use of trying to use egos to try to supplant each other and all that stuff. I'm not with that. All right. I think debating is a European concept. I think debating comes from non-melanated people. All right. We didn't debate back then. We threw hands. Our ancestors threw hands. That's why it was commandments for it. All right. For what, if you knocked a tooth out, or, if you broke a jaw and I mean, just all kind of stuff, all those things. If you killed somebody, that's why it was commandments for it. Because, shoot, we got after each other. You know what I'm saying? Setting the record straight and debating are two different things to me. All right? I'm setting the record straight on what I believe. This is not debatable to me. All right? And anybody that believes that, let me keep reading. All right? If anyone asks me a question, I try to answer it. If someone's trying to bait me with debatable issues, especially on their platform because controversy sells, I ain't with it. I ain't debating. All right? I ain't falling for them traps. Debating is many times full of arrogance, mockery, pride, and humiliation. All right? And that's what it's all about, for clicks and for clout. All right? I don't think we should be doing that kind of stuff. All right? If the meek are going to inherit the earth, I ain't trying to miss that train by being lopsided, unfair, and disrespectful while debating. All right? Some, not all, but some of our people lack respect and class in those settings anyway. All right? Some of our people want to character assassinate in those settings. All right? And I just ain't wasting the energy on that. Where's debating at in the Tanakh? Are we commanded to debate each other in the Tanakh? All right? There ain't no commandment that I've seen where we're supposed to debate our brother on topics. You know what I'm saying? When we communicate, things should be done appropriately. All right? And to remind everybody, we're in captivity. You know what I'm saying? All right? And lastly, or this is me prefacing with these three things three pieces of information. The third reason is there are no consequences for any losers of a debate. When Elijah took out the prophets of Baal, he slew all of them. They all lost their lives because they lost. All right? Here in captivity, what happens to the loser? You know what I'm saying? They can keep on going on with their life. You know what I'm saying? Keep on spreading lies if they want to. Keep on mocking the person they just debated. Keep talking trash about them and putting them down and being divisive. All right? There's no consequences, so why do it anyway? You know what I'm saying? And let's see here. Said, I'm going to just let the Most High sort it all out when he comes back. All right? But I refuse to treat his name like the Jews, the Christians, and the Muslims do. All right. Now to the main event. Let me read the definition of name. And I'm going to start with the Hebrew definition of name. All right. H8034, transliteration Shem. They say it's pronounced shame, but it says S-H-E-M, so I say Shem. All right. Description, name, reputation, fame, glory. The name as in designation of God, memorial, monument. Grammar, a primitive word, perhaps rather from through the idea of definite and conspicuous position. All right. An appellation as a mark or a memorial of individuality, by implication, honor, authority, character. All right. Base, fame, famous, named, renowned, report. All right. And it's used at least 771 times in scripture. All right. From the Hebrew text, the Hebrew manuscripts. They've counted at least that word name at least 771 times. All right. Now let's go to the Britannica Dictionary, and I'm going to just read some of these because it's a whole bunch of them. But I just want you guys to get an idea of what it all encompasses. A name, a word or phrase that refers to or that can refer to a specific person. A word or phrase that refers to a specific place or thing. A word or phrase that refers to a type or group of things. The general opinion that most people have about someone or something. A famous person or thing. A word or phrase that is used to describe and insult someone. Using a name by saying the name of someone or something. In name only, also in name, used to describe a person or thing that does not have the qualities that its name suggests. In someone, something's name, or in the name of someone, something, used to say that something officially or legally belongs to a specified person. All right. Used to say that something has or uses the name of a specified person. Used to say that something is done with the authority of a specified person or thing. Used to say that something is given as the official reason for doing something. All right. Know someone by name. To know a person well enough to know the person's name. To know a person's name only. All right. To become well known or famous. Put a name to. To think of and say the name of someone or something. Take someone's name in vain. The name of the game. The basic goal or purpose of an activity. To your name, belonging to you. All right, and this is where I'm going to stop reading it right here. It says, under the name of someone or something, used to say that something officially or legally belongs to a specified person. Used to say that something has or uses the name of a specified person, intended for someone. All right. Well, let me read a few. I'm going to read a few more. These are the verbs. Those are nouns. Let me read a few of these verbs. All right. It says name, verb. To give a name to someone or something. To say the name of someone or something. To choose someone to be something. All right. To decide on or choose something. And then lastly, to say the names of people who were involved in something. All right. So you get a gist of what I'm saying when I say name. Name is calling calling an individual by a word that represents him or her alone. And in this case, we're talking about the Father. This name represents him alone. There should be no other name in the earth like it. All right. His name is a memorial. All right. To all nations. That means this name is the only name for him for all nations. All right. All right. Here's disclaimer number 2. All right. Let me reiterate some things. I'm not a linguist. Again, I don't know Hebrew. I'm not a scholar. I'm not a historian. I'm most definitely not a prophet or a priest. All right. I don't consider myself a prince. All right. I'm just a brew that believe in Yahuwah. All right. I walk in his ways. I'm accountable for me and mine. And I share information that helps people, that hopefully helps people in their walk with the Most High. All right. I'm accountable. Like I said, I'm accountable for me and mine. This is what I teach, my wife and my children and anybody that asks, And when I say I'm not a teacher, any man is the teacher in his own home. It doesn't make me a teacher in the world. You know what I'm saying? So, my research is based off going under the English, searching out and finding the origins of things, using logic and rationale over emotional reasoning, connecting dots that make sense, and finding supportive evidence that, if possible, is indisputable. My intention is to help people find and walk with the Almighty himself. This is not me trying to sway anyone. All right. People can do what they want to do and they can believe what they want to believe. I'm just sharing information and letting you guys know what I believe. So as more people come to my channel, they'll know what I believe and they'll know if they want to stick around or not. You know what I'm saying? This is more about me being open and honest than anything else. All right. So if you're here just to talk stuff and talk trash and try to put me down for what I believe, first of all, I'm not an emotional dude. I'm not that emotional. You know what I'm saying? But secondly, and more importantly, it ain't gonna work, and I'll just delete your comment and tell you to go on somewhere. You know what I'm saying? We done got too deep into this thing to be playing games and to be trying to see who can top this as far as knowledge goes and intellect goes. That's not That's not me. That's not who I am. You know what I'm saying? I know a lot, but I know there's a bunch of people out there that know way more than me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just trying to do research, and I'm trying to get on the same page as the Father. That's what I'm trying to do. All right? And I hope you guys, don't take nothing I say personal. If you taking it personal, man, that's on what you want me to do. That's on you. You know what I'm saying? All right, now, here are the main reasons from my research why I call the Father Yahuwah. All right? Number one, the Hebrew letter Wah. All right? YHWH. All right? The Greeks got their alphabet from the Phoenicians. The letter Wah is the key to the name because initially in the archaic time period, the Greeks looked at the Wah as a double letter, as the Phoenicians did. But a century or two later in the classical time period, they got rid of the double letter usage of the Wah from within their alphabet. In modern English, it is the equivalent of the W, which when you think about it and put it in correct form is simply a double U. And the term double also applies to the Wah having a double use as a consonant and a vowel. The consonant form of the letter Wah and the vowel form of the letter is U. The consonant form of the letter is W and the vowel form of the letter is U. This is what I believe through my research. All right. The Greeks are the first to separate the consonants and the vowels in their alphabet. And since the Hebrew language is an abjad language, go look up what an abjad is. There's a few things in here I'm gonna make y'all do some research. All right. The Wah got lost in the translations. All right. That's the number one reason why I believe his name is Yahuwah, because that Wah is a key. All right. Number two, the Shemitic languages. All right. Some people say Semitic. I say Shemitic. All right. Says all the Shemitic languages, such as Arabic and the ancient Aramaic, recognize the Wah as a double letter. All right. The Shemitic languages also recognize A, I, and U as the only vowels in their languages. I'm not a believer in the A vowel only doctrine, the Lashawan doctrine. I don't believe in that. All right, so that's gonna knock a lot of y'all off my page right there. But I mean, it's okay. All right, I'm not taking nothing personal. I don't expect y'all to take nothing personal. We ain't on the same page right now. Eventually, the Father gonna put the two sticks back together, and he gonna give us one name. All right, he gonna tell us one name. I just so happen right now to believe that name is Yahuwah, and I'm not saying that I can't be wrong at the end of time when he puts us all back together and tells us. All right, I'm not saying that, but from my research, and some of the brothers that that I'm connected to, they believe the same thing. All right. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't believe in the Lashawan Kadash. I haven't been able to and cannot confirm the Lashawan Kadash, the origin of it. You know what I'm saying? To add, the E and the O vowels are Greek created vowels that were mutated by the Greeks, all right, from the A, the I, and the U. They mutate them from suppressing sounds, all right, suppressing vowel sounds, all right. Also, the English we speak today derives from the Latin language, and the Latins got their alphabet from the Greeks. Plus, knowing the Latins and the Greeks didn't have a Y in their languages helps me easily understand that they modified vowels the same way as they modified some of the consonants. That's the Shemitic languages. When you go through and look, makes sense to me. All right. The number 3 reason, the third commandment. All right. Let me read Deuteronomy. I'm looking for Deuteronomy 5 real quick. Let's go here. All right. It says, "You shall not swear falsely by the name of your mighty one Yahuwah, for Yahuwah will not clear one who swears falsely by Yahuwah's name." And I believe that in that verse, it's some of it is talking about saying his name wrong. All right. So if I happen to be wrong at the end of all this, I don't think I am, but if I happen to be wrong, the Father knew I tried to get this right the whole time. I've asked him multiple times. I prayed to him about it multiple times. And I kept getting led back to this name. All right. Some of you have done the same thing. And like I said, while we're in captivity, the Father is allowing a lot of stuff to go on right now. I've learned a lot of information from different brothers who believe like me, but we have some differences on a few issues, but we have a lot of things that we believe the same. So until the Father puts the two sticks back together, his name might be something that we differ on. I mean, that's my perspective. All right. The fourth thing, the salvation. When you go into Joel chapter 3 and it says, for those who call on the name of Yahuwah shall be delivered. That's why I believe we need to have a name. We need to be saying a name. All right. Some of you think not so much. That's fine. Okay. That's your thought process. All right. The fifth reason is the tetragrammaton. All right. I believe because of the 4 Hebrew letters, that those 4 Hebrew letters represent 3 syllables because of the Ahia, Asher, Ahia. All right. And the name having a meaning from its Hebrew origin. I am he who exists. I am that I am. I am who I am. All right. I am he who lives. Just the different definitions of, I believe his name, because of all other Hebrew names have a definition. I believe his name has a definition. And that's what he was giving Moses in Exodus 3, the definition of his name. All right. Let's see here. The number 6 reason. All right. The memorial to all generations. We just talked about that. All right. There's a name. All right. Exodus chapter 3, 14 and 15. He gave his name there. All right. So there's a name that is a memorial to all generations. And I don't think, now, don't get me wrong. I know the word says we polluted his name and we profaned his name and he took his name out of our mouth. But since I believe we've reached, the judgment times are over. You know what I'm saying? And we just waiting on him to fulfill the prophecies now. I believe he's turning his face back to us. So I believe he will put his name back into the earth. All right. That's what I believe. I'm telling y'all what I believe. All right. Let's see here. Number 7. All right. Is what I call the link. I'm going to Numbers chapter 6. All right. All right, Numbers chapter 6. All right. Starting at verse 24. All right. Yahuwah bless you and protect you. Yahuwah deal kindly and graciously with you. Yahuwah bestow divine favor upon you and grant you peace. Thus they shall link my name with the people of Yisrael, and I will bless them. He links his name to us. All right. So therefore, I personally believe we should know his name so we can remain linked to him. All right. Number 8, the question. All right. This is going to come from Proverbs 30, a very familiar verse of scripture. All right. Proverbs 30 and verse 4 says, who has ascended heaven and come down? Who has gathered up the wind in the hollow of his hands? Who has wrapped the waters in his garment? Who has established all the extremities of the earth? What is his name, or what is his son's name, if you know it? All right. I believe the name of the Father is Yahuwah, and I believe the name of his son is Yisrael. All right. I know sometimes I say Yasharal. I know sometimes I say Yasharel. I know sometimes I say Israel. All right. We're still coming into the accurate knowledge. So, but I believe that the Father's name is Yahuwah. All right. And I'm leaning more and more to the Son's name, to the one, the guy, I say guy, the one who the promise comes through for us. All right. It started with Abraham, went down to Jacob, and is now with Yisrael. All right. That's number 8. The question. All right. Number 9. And I had 10 of these. Here's number 9. The importance of his name to him. All right. Let's go to Ezekiel 20. All right. All right, I'm going to start at verse 9. It says, "But I acted for the sake of my name, that it might not be profaned in the sight of the nations among whom they were, for it was before their eyes that I had made myself known to Israel, bring them out of the land of Egypt." All right, I brought them out of the land of Egypt, and I led them into the wilderness. I gave them my laws and taught them my rules, by pursuit of which humans shall live. Moreover, and he said humans right there, meaning everybody. All right, everybody is culpable to live under the 10 commandments. Everybody. All right. So let's see here. "Moreover, I gave them my Shabbats to serve as a sign between me and them, that they might know that it is I, Yahuwah, who sanctify them. But the house of Israel rebelled against me in the wilderness. They did not follow my laws, and they rejected my rules, by the pursuit of which humans shall live." There it is again. "And they grossly desecrated my Shabbats. Then I thought to pour out my fury upon them in the wilderness and make an end of them. But I acted for the sake of my name, that it might not be profaned in the sight of the nations, before whose eyes I had led them out." Now, in those places where it said name right there, I don't believe, all right, I don't believe that it's just the name that we were speaking. I believe it talks about the name we were speaking, his reputation, his character, and his authority, all right, and his glory and esteem. And we're talking about all those things, all right. But I do believe that the name that our ancestors called to, all right, and reverenced, I believe that was talking about that too. It's mixed all in there, all right. And then the last thing, the 10th thing, is the others, all right. The 10th thing, when I say others, I'm talking about all these other names. And I'm fixing to briefly go through them real quick. All right. The first one, Allah, is used by the Muslims. It means the one and only God in Islam, and the God in Arabic. It has no plural or gender, but I don't believe in it because it doesn't fit the Tetragrammaton. And that's going to be a major theme with most of these names. It doesn't fit the Tetragrammaton. All right. The second name that is used, that I don't believe his name is, and y'all won't either, it's Adonai. That's what's used by the Jews a lot of times. All right. We know that that's not his name. It's a title. All right. The third name, Jehovah. I don't believe that that's his name, because we know that there ain't no J, all right, in Hebrew. And I think the E and the O are mutated vowel sounds. I don't think they were originally how the ancestors said his name. All right. The fourth name is Yehovah, and I just explained it. Some Jews and Christians use Yehovah. Well, I don't believe in that because of the E and the O. All right. The fifth name is Aya. All right. And I've heard brothers say this name right here. It's used by some Hebrews or Israelites. I don't believe this is the Father's name, simply because it doesn't fit the Tetragrammaton, the 4 Hebrew letters. All right. Whether it's Paleo, Aramaic, English, it doesn't fit the 4 letters in my opinion, because I believe that those 4 letters spell out 3 syllables. All right. Aya is 2 syllables. All right. Let's see. The next one is Yah-O. It's the same as Aya. It's only 2 syllables. Now, I know they say that there's a group that says that this was what the Egyptians called him. All right. But I can't get over the Egyptians. The Egyptians knew that the Y was a double letter. All right. The Y is in their language too. The Phoenicians got their alphabet from the Egyptians. All right. They recognized the Y as a double letter as well. All right. And I don't think that last hey in that word is silent, because he, in Exodus 3, he gave the meaning of his name, in my opinion. All right. And so that was 3 syllables. All right. Let's see here. And I mean, also, when you look at the Metris Lectionis, that's another history, that's another research lesson. Y'all gonna have to go look up the Metris Lectionis. All right. That's where it shows where to insert the vowels at. All right. So the 4 Hebrew letters have vowels, 3 vowels in between them. All right. And we have to correctly apply those vowels. All right. Let's see here. And a lot of people put the Masoretic text against the Septuagint. And I understand that, but go back to what I said at the beginning of the video. Just logic and rationale as I connect the dots. That's what I came up with. All right. I can't get past that last hey being silent. I can't let that go. I don't think that last hey is just sitting there dangling after that Y. All right. I think it's 3 syllables and not 2. Yah-oh is 2 syllables. All right. Yahuwah. All right. This is close to Yahuwah. All right. But to me, I think that O is a mutated vowel. All right. It's the second closest name out there. All right. In my belief. But I just think the Greeks put that O where that U is supposed to be. I think that Y says U. Yahuwah. All right. I think that Y, that U is coming off that Y. All right. Let's see here. Here's a big one right here. Yahuwah. All right. Now I'm gonna just read what I wrote here because I got a lot here. Yahuwah is, I think, the closest to the true name, and it's very, very popular. All right. So I wrote, okay, so this is one of the most popular names used out there. All right. Now, this name right here has been and is a name that will have many of us bruise up in arms with each other. This name, I'm telling you, I might, it might be a couple of people just come after me with this, but I'm not putting up with that stuff. And they can make a video about it. I don't care. I don't care about all that. I'm stating what my research has come up with. All right. I don't believe this is the Almighty's name because of the Tetragrammaton. All right. This name comes from what some call the Lashawan Kadash, as I mentioned above. According to Lashawan Kadash, they say this is the origin Hebrew language. All right. Each Paleo Hebrew character is in the alphabet is a syllable, and all of the syllables contain the vowel A at the end of the consonant. For example, Israel in this language will be Yasharallah. My problem then becomes, why isn't the same rule applied to the Father's name when they say Yahweh? It should be Yahweh, according to what they're saying. There's no archaeology or etymology to go look at to verify the grammar or the language. All right. Another one, the meaning of the name. All Hebrew names have meanings. The Father's name is no different. All right. In Exodus 3, I believe the Father told Moses his name. The 3 Hebrew words that his name is based off of is also 3 syllables. Yahuwah are actual Hebrew words that went together render not just his name, but the meaning of his name. All right. In this instance, what turns me from Yahweh? The Ha. Ha is not a Hebrew word, and so it has no meaning. All right. Another reason, other Hebrew words. So when dealing with the word malak, if you apply the syllable rule for that language, and if you don't add any of the the Mezorites, if you don't add the Mesorite, the Masoretic text, All right. How do you know when a scripture is talking about a king and when a scripture is talking about a messenger or angel? All right. They're both spelled Malak, right? Or Malaka. They're both spelled Malaka. So, how you know which one you're talking about? All right. You would think initially putting an A behind every consonant would simplify things, but it really doesn't, in my opinion. All right. The last reason why the name Yahu, King Yahu, King, and KJV is King Jehu. All right. If you go by the Lashawan Kwadash, his name is the Father's name, and I don't understand how they got that. So, the son. Hold on. King Yahu, all right, his name would be Yahuwah. And I don't think any of our ancestors would have named their son the father's name. All right, so I hope y'all understand that. All right, the next name is Ahaya. This is just a word that is the definition of his name, in my opinion. I am. Ahaya means I am. All right, I don't think that's his name because he said Ahaya Asher Ahaya. I am he who exists. I am he who lives. All right. In the Tetragrammaton, Yah never appears after the Hey in the Tetragrammaton. In the Paleo artifacts, it was never used to represent, hold on. It said YHWH or YHWH. The Yah never appears after the Hey. All right. Yahuwah without the Wah. Said this is a close rendition of his name out there. I don't believe it's his name because of the Wah. I think the Wah matters. All right. And then Yahweh. All right. Yahweh is pretty simple. Way is not a word in Hebrew. All right. And it doesn't have 3 syllables. All right. I'm aware of dozens of other names and titles. These are simply some of the ones I see and hear out most of the day from day to day. All right. I want people to know, don't just take my word for it. Do your own research. That's the most important thing I want to say this video. Do your own research. Don't just take my word for it. Don't believe what I'm saying. I'm not your preacher. I'm not your pastor. I'm not your priest. I'm not your scribe. I'm not none of that stuff. I'm just a guy I'm just a Hebrew, all right, who has a belief, all right, who lives a Old Testament, a biblical life, a Torah life, all right, to the best of his ability. That's sharing information, all right. I know Zechariah 14, and Zechariah 14, it says everyone at some point in the future will call him by one name, and there will be no confusion about it, all right. This video, let me reiterate, this video is just to let you guys know that what I believe. So if you come over here and you ain't rocking with that, I mean, you can keep it moving, you know, and there's no, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, no puns intended, none of that stuff. All right. I just want people to know who I am, what I believe, what I represent, you know. Let's see here. Let me read Psalms 9. We almost done. Let me go to Psalms 9. Psalms 9, verses 10 and 11. Says, Yahuwah is a haven for the oppressed, a haven in times of trouble. Those who know your name trust you. For you do not abandon those who turn to you, O Yahuwah. All right. I can't remember where it's at, but there's also a verse that says Yahuwah will show mercy on whom he wants to show mercy, and he will show grace on whom he wants to show grace. So just make sure you have humility in your heart. Just make sure that you are truly searching for him and you are truly trying to understand, overstand, and walk in his instructions. All right. If you're doing those things, all right, I think you're gonna be okay. Now I'm not him. All right. I do know that, you know, he's taking out some punishment on our bloodlines. So hey, if you haven't repented yet, you need to go read Leviticus 26 and learn what he requires to repent. All right. And this is the last part I wanted to say. Let me say this part again. This video is not meant to slander, insult, disrespect, or shame anyone who has a different idea about the Almighty's name. Your walk is your walk, and to each his own. I'm simply and humbly offering transparency in what I believe. All right, I've been telling y'all this for months, that I'm going to do a video why I believe in the name Yahuwah. All right. The meek shall inherit the earth. So all these arrogant people, these ones that want to be controversial, these ones that want to be divisive, you can attack me all you want, man. I don't care. All right, I'm not leaving that crap up in my comment section, none of that. I'll just remove it. You know, if you offer some actual good material that I can go research, fine. I'll leave some of that stuff up. All right, but if I think you just blatantly trying to mess with those who watch my channel, I ain't leaving that stuff up. All right. The Almighty is going to deal with those people. All right. This is a disclaimer and a warning. You know what I'm saying? The Most High does know my heart. And I know people all over YouTube, all over the internet say the Most High knows my heart. The Most High knows my heart. I ain't trying to be deceitful. I ain't trying to be wicked. I ain't trying to be sly, slick. I ain't trying to tell y'all and sell y'all something just to get clicks, just to get likes, just to get subscribers. My Bible channel, my Tanakh channel, my channel where I share information about the instructions of Yahuwah, I just put out this information because I think it'll help people. All right? This ain't about me. This ain't about you. This is about me following him and doing what I think he wants me to do. All right. This is about me balancing the evil I've done in my past with trying to balance it with good in my present and in my future. All right. Because I want to be counted blameless when he does shut all this stuff down and switch it up, and we become the head and not the tail anymore. All right. Last verse I want to read, and then we out. All right. Malachi 3:16. Let's go to Malachi 3:16. All right. Says, let's see here. All right. In this vein have those who revere Yahuwah been talking to one another. Yahuwah has heard and noted it, and a scroll of remembrance has been written at the Mighty One's behest concerning those who revere Yahuwah and esteem the holy name. I just want to give him reverence. I want to magnify him and him alone. And I want to share my belief with you guys. All right. Hopefully this helps somebody. Remember, I ain't got all the answers, but I'll share what I learned. Much love, y'all. Shalom.